It's Betsy with Advisor Verified. We are here today to put a spotlight on an awesome agent. Joe, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Please introduce yourself to the people.
That's a well, good morning, early morning to you. But my name is Joe Tchimou. I am with Symmetry Financial Group, part of the Tchimou agency itself there in Marshall, Wynn and Hierarchy. And just Ben, my background, Betsy, is pretty
Yeah,
plain. Honestly, I
that's
was just
great.
I was previously a college student. I
Okay.
played soccer on a full scholarship. I studied
Oh,
finance and sports management. Um,
fun.
and the goal was to either work on Wall Street or become a sports agent. And so my resume is pretty much blank. That's all I have on there. It's just insurance. And that's all I've known my entire adulthood, I should say. So yeah, just not much going on here in my life so far here prior to insurance itself.
Well, hey, I think most people would probably be okay with just hey coming in, getting into this industry right after college. I know I wish that I had this industry right after college. That would have made some
I
things a
know.
lot easier.
Yeah, I've been told that quite often. And so I'm just going to count my blessing and go along with it. So I'm not going to rub it in your
Okay,
face
okay, thanks,
whatsoever.
Joe. Thanks. But think about, I mean, I think about like I've already told my kids like, hey, you can whatever you want, it's fine. I mean, I hope obviously they come and do insurance with me, but if nothing else, congratulations, this is your part-time job in college.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
please no.
Love that.
So, okay, so you were thinking Wall Street or a sports agent. How did you then decide on insurance?
Oh, geez. So 2014, let's go back.
Okay,
2014, I
2014.
graduated with my bachelor degree in 2014.
Okay.
I decided to enroll in an MBA program to just further my or enhance my finance skill set.
Okay.
I didn't know much about insurance. I come from a family background where just the African background, there's not much of a belief in insurance whatsoever. So
Okay.
just insurance itself was not something that crossed my mind quite often. But my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time,
Mhm.
had told me about insurance. She just felt that sales was the way for me to go. She knew that I couldn't wake up early to go to a regular job. She knew that I love helping people. And she also knew that I didn't like school. So she told me about insurance and wanted me to try it out. But again, that was not my goal. I just wanted to be on Wall Street and be a sports agent. So I listened to her just so I can say I listened.
So wise.
I
So
know I got licensed in 2014
okay.
and then threw my license to the side just to say I did it. And then I went back and enrolled in my MBA program and continue with the dream and the goal of being a sports agent or working on Wall Street itself. But um, my goal at that moment then was as while I was in school, I just wanted to be able to pay for school without having to take it out any student loans. So I figured, you know what, let me just start selling some insurance a little bit there. So I was selling here and there, just writing a policy or two,
Okay.
making for $500, $700 here, so I can pay for school as I went, and it worked out quite well. And then life threw me a curveball, and caused me to have to drop out of my MBA program. My dad got sick,
Mm.
and at that moment, Betsy, what I saw my dad who put so much into a company for over 2 decades, right?
Okay.
Uh, Only for him to be able to just lose everything at the end.
Oh.
And you know, my dad started with that company as just a delivery driver, worked his way all the way up to being the head of the purchasing department.
Wow.
And but what I really enjoyed was just seeing his growth within the company itself.
Hmm.
Along the way, Betsy, you know, he never really was there for any of the events that happened in school, at the sporting events, which again for me, I'm grateful that he was able to make the sacrifice to be able to provide for us whatsoever. But on the flip side, I've just seen what it was like to work so hard for someone else
Mm.
and just have nothing to show for it. So if at the company that my dad worked for, if you didn't know anything about the owners of the company, you would think my dad owned the company. I mean, he did everything for that company, everything from unloading trucks to getting taking care of uniforms, and he just pretty much just did everything. You would
He
think
was
he
the
owned.
one. He was the
Yes, he was the one for sure. And then once things health wise started going downhill, they just felt that it just wasn't ideal for them to be able to have him there. and stopped paying him and decided to just lay him off. And I completely get it. That's just business. That's just part of business. Nobody wants to pay someone for not working. So I completely get it. Not holding any grudge against that company
Right,
whatsoever
right.
itself there. But that's when I realized really quickly that I had to take insurance seriously. Because number one, I wanted to have that flexibility. I've seen my dad again, just not being able to be there
Mhm.
for any kids events whatsoever, and I wanted to be the dad that was going to be there, and not miss a single thing. I wanted to have that flexibility to do those things there, which my dad really didn't. I wanted to actually build a dream, my own dream, and not someone else's dream. And I wanted to leave a legacy for my wife and my kids there, which my dad, once he passed away, really didn't have that to leave there for my mom, especially. So that's when I just realized, hey, let's start focusing on insurance. And I dropped out of my MBA program because I realized really quickly I just couldn't work and do the Wall Street or do the sports agent. Couldn't work for somebody else. I just needed to be able to just make things on my own there and just pursue my own destiny. And
Wow.
that's what really got me to jump into insurance. So in bright age of 24 years old in 2017, I decided it's time to start pursuing insurance, and I got serious with it. So that's really what got me to start and led me to insurance itself.
Well, I think that is a really powerful story, Joe. You said it was boring. That's nothing, but that's not boring at all. That is not boring at all. That's
Mhm.
so, that's, yeah, it's just inspiring, like that, just to see like, hey, you saw what could be, and then you saw an alternative, and you chose something different, and like now your children, your family, your legacy gets a totally different experience than what you had to go through.
Mhm.
And I mean, I think that's so much of what being an agent is all about, is
Yeah.
deciding to make that pivot in our life and create something different for our families.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's not boring at all. That is inspiring. I love that.
I like that. Thank you.
It really is. So, I feel like that is a pretty significant, that's pretty significant, just kind of going through that. So our next question is always, what's been one of your most significant moments as an agent? So I feel like that's like kind of significant, you becoming an agent, but kind of since
Yeah.
then, since you've been helping families, what's been one of the most significant moments that you can remember?
For me, it's gonna have to be more on the impact, right? Because like as agents, we do things on a regular basis consistently that we really don't truly see the back end results. And even for the clients too, right? In terms of what we're putting in place today, what the impact is.
Okay.
And for me, that happened back in last year, as a matter of fact,
Okay.
in 2023. I've had, since I've been in the industry, just two death claims. My first one was pretty much, I didn't even know the death happened. I'm usually pretty good at providing my clients with just the after sale service itself, of making
Right.
sure that I have everything intact, just in case I'm never here today, right?
Yeah.
So they're able to just go through the process seamlessly there without having to stress so much. So when the first one happened, I didn't even realize it happened, because it was just, she just went to step one, two, three, four, and filed the claim there, and was able to get the funds deposited into her account. Then I got
You
the
had
email from
already
her
you had
saying,
already told her. You had
I
already
know.
told
I'm like,
her.
man, this. I didn't even process. I didn't even have to really just see what the journey was like. But my second one was really when things shifted for me, and this one here is a little bit more personal, because in April of 2021, I had one of my best friends and college roommate reach out to me, and
Okay.
we were able to just write a policy to protect him, and in case anything was to ever happen. And obviously, we think at that age there we're just immortal, so we never think anything is ever going to happen.
For sure.
But for him, when I can never forget, my wife and I were coming back from Florida. I got the call from his wife, just in tears, because he had just been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer at,
Oh,
at 36 years old. And then,
oh,
in May of 23, I was, giving his eulogy at his funeral itself. And,
oh my
but
goodness.
just the process, Betsy, of being able to truly go and seeing exactly what we do truly has in terms of impact on families,
Oh my goodness.
completely, just when you talk about significant moment as an agent, that was it right there for me. Just being able to watch that death claim itself there do wonders for his wife and his two kids.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
he's always been big on having his wife have options when it comes to work.
Mm.
Just didn't want her to feel like she had to work, but she didn't want to because her dream was to just be a mom. She wants to be an awesome mom.
Yeah.
And just seeing that death claim, being able to allow her to still do that to this day. They've always been big on making sure that the both kids had that flexibility and options when it comes to educations for their kids. And now just watching his wife being able to just have that make decisions for in terms of schooling that's best for their values and what's going to be beneficial for their kids has
Wow.
just been so amazing to see. Just watching a death claim, being able to allow her to now pursue dreams of things that she's always had aspirations to do, like starting her own little marketing business, which now she's got that kick started and able to just get that going. It's
Mm.
just been so amazing to see the impact of what we do,
Mm.
actually see it and being lived out, right, on a consistent daily basis there because I get to be there and experience it with them there. And now that I think about all of this, I realize that by myself, Betsy, I can go out there and protect 100 to 150 families a year,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
But as an organization, I can help hundreds more,
Yep.
right? Helping 750, 1,000 families a year is, for what we're doing now for my small little organization itself there, and looking to impact hundreds more, right? And that's really when the light bulb really clicked for me in
Mm.
terms of truly what the impact of what we do being lived out on a daily basis there from someone who truly now gets to see that those benefits of a policy being written there was for me something that was so significant and has changed my mindset about this industry. I was always fired up about insurance, but just seeing that happen as of last year, that has completely changed it for me here. And now it's all about how many more families can we impact on a
Mm.
consistent basis there so that they can have that same peace when
Mm.
they lose a loved one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whew, that was powerful. Joe, you're bringing all the fire this morning. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's go help some more families. That is awesome. That's awesome.
It is,
Well,
but it's so true in terms of what we do.
mhm.
It's just it, and again, it's so easy because you write a policy, you just don't really see it. Yes, we talk about it. Yes, we know it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and we know it's going to happen. But just truly being able to see it and live it out and
Mhm.
just experience the entire process that completely changes it. It does. I mean, it just surely it did for me, especially 100%.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And then the agents around you just being able, your organization being able to hear that story, hear you continue, like see how that impacted you. I know that just trickled out throughout your whole organization there.
Absolutely.
So what would you say, Joe, are some challenges and some victories that you've experienced as an agent?
Oh boy. So challenges. The biggest one challenge wise is really getting out of my own way.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of people come into this industry for the money,
Mm.
which is understandable. Right. This is America. Everybody's got bills to pay. Right. At the end
We
of the day.
do. We do.
But just understanding that it's bigger than just me. It's bigger than just you. It's bigger than just any agent out there. It's bigger than all of us. It goes way beyond that. So having to get out of my own way to truly realize that it's the families that I get to see on a daily basis. It's the impact of relationships that gets to be built on a consistent basis there that for me truly plays a major role in why I wake up every single day fired up to go out there and just help families consistently.
Mm.
Right. The second thing in terms of just victories itself, there's just been the growth for me.
Mhm.
Right. I've just seen just this young kid and my mentor in the business itself that says it all the time, man. It's just so amazing. And even the people that have seen me come in at as a young adult and then just watching me grow throughout my entire year in this company itself, they're just hearing what they have to say about me and the growth that they have seen from me
Mm.
truly has just been so amazing for myself. They're just in ways in which I could just be a much bigger person than what I ever thought I could ever be.
It's awesome.
Um, Being a lot bigger than my problems, right?
That's good. Yep.
By going through that, I mean, there's going to be challenges in this business itself there, but the biggest victory for me is knowing that I am such a bigger person individually
Mm.
that there's no problem in this business in life in which I don't feel like I am well equipped for
Mm.
and bigger than.
I love
And
that.
that for me in and of itself there has helped tremendously with my journey
Yeah.
in this business itself there in my journey in working with other agents as well.
Mm.
Because there's many stages we're all going to go through, Betsy. I mean, for me, it's that the first one is that an informed optimism, right? Where you come
Oh,
and you
I
get
like
excited,
that. What
right?
informed optimism?
The
Oh,
uninformed optimism,
oh,
uninformed
okay,
optimism, right?
okay.
So that's where you just get so excited about the industry. Right? I'm sure like when you first got licensed, you first came into the industry, you were excited. You were so excited for the impact you were going to have, the
Yep.
income that's going to be made.
Mm-hmm.
And then stage two happened, which is that informed pessimism, right? You get punched in the face and you're like, oh my,
Yep.
this is so hard. But so worth it,
Mm,
right? Because you're gonna go through so many challenges. This is when you start shifting into that negative state of mind, that negative emotional state, and the benefits that we think are there or don't seem as real anymore in that stage, right?
yeah.
They don't seem to be important anymore. They don't seem to be immediate. And then the cost of change starts to become apparent.
Mm,
Then we go to even a worse stage, which is that valley of despair, right? And this is where a lot of people in anything that we do in life tend to actually want to quit.
yeah.
That's like the lowest point in anything that we do in life, right? And but that in that pain itself, there in that pain, this is when we're all being built,
Mm,
right? Because through that discomfort, is when we're actually introduced to our true self, and we're able to just overcome those things there. And then that's when we all are able to overcome. And then if we can all survive during that stage of that valley of despair, what
yeah.
tends to happen for us now, Betsy, is we actually get to become informed, right? We have that informed optimism where
Yeah.
now the possibility of success starts to increase. We're back into a more positive emotional state. And then the benefits of our action, even though we understand we're not seeing results now, we're starting to sort of bear fruit, right? Starting to come consistently now, and you start to understand that you can just persevere a lot of things in just this business itself, and then you get to that stage where you just have that fulfillment
Mm,
in this industry, and that fulfillment is that final emotional cycle, as I tell a lot of agents in this business, where the benefits of your behaviors, now you start to experience those things there, and then the cost of change is perceived now as being worth it. Like this is when you're like, oh, this is really worth it.
so
But at the end of the day, throughout that whole journey, you're going to have peaks and valleys. You're going to have the good days in every stage. You're going to have the bad days in every stage itself there. But I've always been told in this business, you just always feed my faith and not my fear. And that's just something that I've always lived by there, to constantly just give myself the opportunity to be in a situation where I can truly overcome any obstacles that I'm going to come across there. So, biggest victory for me is just growth for sure.
I love that. I love it. Wow, I actually was like trying to write down what you were saying. That was so good with the informed and uninformed optimism, informed pet. That was really good. I was taking some notes there. And Joe, thank you so much for coming. This has been such an inspiring story. And just to just to imagine, like, man, you're still just getting started and you've got so much ahead of you. Um, a big future, not because you're trying to get as much as you can get, but because you're trying to impact as many people as you can. And that's just so evident. And so, hey, if you're out there and you're looking for some coverage, Joe is the guy to see. All right, he definitely can help you out if you're looking for a place to plant your flag. And I gotta say, I feel like Joe's going to be a great someone that you could definitely come and learn from. So, Joe, I just want to say thank you so much for coming, for sharing your heart. Wow, it's been I've been inspired this morning. So thank you so much.
I appreciate you, Betsy. I mean, honestly, it's just the relationship goes a long way in this business itself there, and you have been one of the most amazing individuals that I've had a chance to cross paths with in this in my small little journey in this industry itself. There, just your heart for people, your love for this industry itself. There, that your love for agents on a consistent basis. I've seen you just stop on your way to walking 100 miles per hour, heading somewhere really important, and stop in your path there just to be able to just pour into other people. And All this here could not be possible without relationships that I've built
Mm,
across these years there with people like you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart as well there. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me as well. It means a
all right,
lot.
later. Hey there, thanks so much for watching this episode of Advisor Spotlight. Here at Advisor Verified, we love spotlighting agents all across America as they share their passion for why they love doing what they get to do, protecting you and your family. So be sure to go to advisorverified.com and search for an advisor in your state that you connect with and that you know is licensed, insured, verified.